Welcome, any and all, to the main voyage of the Movie Club Collective podcast, wherein 3 to 5 cinephiles have an in-depth conversation about a different movie each week. This week, the first week, we have Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey. This movie premiered on May 15th, 1968 in the UK. It has a healthy runtime of 2 hours and 29 minutes. I'm your host, Jon Olson. I am joined... Where am I going by? I'm joined here in the studio, in person, with at Studio Piccioni here in New York. My co-host in crime, producer, director, teacher, Jose Venutolo.
Hello.
Good to have you on the show.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
And joining us over Skype, our co-host from the West Coast, writer, director, editor, Nick Landa. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
From the City of Angels.
Thank you for having me.
What is this?
Thank
All
you.
right. No hijinks. Very serious business. All right. So I guess we'll get right into it.
Yes.
For starters, I guess I want to ask, when did you most recently watch it? Nick?
Yesterday for the first and last time. Not last time ever, just it was the last time I saw it, and it was the first time I saw it.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounded bad.
Yesterday.
It was like, wow.
Yeah, so yesterday, so just a day ago.
Okay. What about you, Hunter?
I watched it a couple of times within the years. I don't remember how long was the last time I watched it before last night. And I started watching it last night, finished it this morning.
Saturday night. Sunday morning.
Yes.
You split it up.
I split it up.
Did you watch up to the intermission and then like, oh, this is a good place to stop?
No, I tried to watch it last night, fell asleep after like half an hour, and then I picked it up for like half an hour.
Okay. This was also my first time watching it. I watched it on Thursday. It's Sunday, so I had a few days to think about it.
Awesome.
Before we go any further, I guess I'll just say that we're doing this under the pretense that everybody has seen the film that's listening to the podcast. So if you haven't seen the film, it might not make a lot of sense. So I guess, like, what was your expectation of the film going into this latest viewing, and like, how did it meet or defy your
Just meet that.
Hey, Nick, you want to kick us off?
I had super high expectations for the film because, like, a lot of stuff I like and I'm into is inspired by... I've heard about it forever. Like, I mean, Metal Gear Solid, that dude, it's his favorite movie and stuff, so I really thought it was going to be amazing, and then I saw it, and it was amazing. It totally met my expectations.
Oh, okay.
I totally understood why it's, like, a lot of people are inspired by it, so I felt like I hadn't... Like, I don't know why I hadn't seen it years before.
Yeah. Where are you, Jose?
Well, I mean, I'd watched it before. I had already some thoughts about it, some elements, but this time I watched it with the intention of talking about it. So it did affect a little of not a lot of what I already thought about the movie. But
did it like?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any moments of like renewed sort of enlightenment? Like you actually like, oh, okay, that makes sense now.
Well, I went into it trying to figure out, like, maybe I don't recall all the frames and everything. So I was trying to figure out if there was going to be another scene, a different scene that I was going to consider my favorite, and that didn't change.
Okay.
Well, I'm curious which one that was.
I was not expecting most of what I got. I like
Interesting.
the stuff.
Wait, in a good way? What do you mean?
Like in a good way. Like
Okay.
Like I didn't know about the chimps, like the apes, the Dawn of Man stuff. Like I didn't know.
You didn't know about that?
I didn't know about any
Interesting.
of that.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Any of that.
Oh my god, how did you not? Okay.
This is great.
I thought The Simpsons and everything spoofed that.
Yeah, I mean,
most things have done it. Like I recognize the stuff in like the middle two acts. So like I've seen the shots of him like running in the circle, and like Futurama spoofed the like taking like shutting down.
Okay.
HAL. So some of that stuff, like, and obviously I'd heard of HAL 9000. I was also just surprised by like the third act of the film. It just goes straight into like this trippy,
right,
like crazy color corrected footage.
Yeah.
And just like it's really, it's really cool, but it's like I was like, oh, this movie is just like like I feel like it's sold as a space adventure, but it's really just abstract art.
It's totally art. It's absolutely art for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a series of paintings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're
That's
looking at
nice. That's a
series
nice
of-
way to
I
see
think
it.
it's an art thing that's set in space. I think that's really what it is instead of, like you said, like just a straight up space adventure.
Yeah. I guess this kind of segues into the next thing I had written down here, which is like just it has been really into like sci or like pop culture.
Yes.
And,
Yeah,
like,
big time.
you know, I mean, to me, it's kind of surprising that this movie is as famous as it is. It's so non-traditional and like artsy, and like you can compare it to like something like what were we talking about earlier, Jose? Inception, or no, Interstellar.
Interstellar.
Oh,
Yes.
Interstellar.
Easily,
like-
yeah.
But like Interstellar
It's like
is
a nod
such a like by the numbers, 3-act structure, emotional characters kind of movie, and like 2001 is just like it's not like the people are just they have no there's such a little emotion going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting.
And I think that plays a crucial point in this film.
Totally, yep.
Yeah, like
think-
I just saw I could see them all like most of the comes as just like
I mean, I have things.
paintings of like
I
the
have
way
things. I have things to say about that. Like I don't know if they're right on point, but it's like my perspective of why they don't have emotions and how does it tie to the overall objective of one of the objectives of Kubrick's analyzation of human behavior and humankind. But I guess we'll get into that eventually.
Let's see what do we got.
Yeah, a lot of people, I think, noticed that. I was reading an Ebert review, and he said the same thing. He said, like, the most human character in the movie is Hal.
Yes.
And I was like, totally.
Yeah.
I was like, Ebert hit it on the head. Yeah, it's totally like that.
I mean, at one point, I thought it was kind of like a nice, semi-realistic take on like astronauts being just kind of like very calm in the silence of space.
Yeah, totally.
But like, I don't know. The one thing that annoyed me in this movie is just like that they were able to fall into the lip reading trap.
That they were able
like-
to what?
To fall into the like lip reading trap. Like how just
Oh,
that's-
that.
And I was
Yeah,
like, you guys are so stupid. Like,
Yeah,
don't
they are stupid for
face the camera.
Yeah, the camera, I know.
Like how
that
it's
was
so smart.
Well, they're leaning in also. They're like super leaning in right
Yeah,
through the.
yeah,
They're like right
Come
there,
on,
like,
bruh.
look, read my lips. No,
Yeah.
It's
No,
still
but
a
I think
great scene though.
it's mostly
just, yeah.
it's mostly because they're not expecting it.
but like they should be.
Yeah.
It's way too smart.
I know, but I mean,
Yeah, but they don't expect any form of deception. Like, I mean,
of
yeah,
course.
No,
I don't.
they trust him implicitly.
They think he'll just malfunction.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like judge them. Or,
Yeah. It's like it's a sign. Like the fact that they went out of their way for the computer not to listen to them gives you the perception that they're acknowledging the computer as a living thing. They're not acknowledging the computer as a computer. They're worried about what the computer.
for sure.
He's got a
Yeah, they are worried.
very precarious situation. One mistake,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
one mistake, and you're done. Oh,
No, they could have taken another precaution. I think if the movie was like made today, kind of thing, I think that's more of its times because sometimes back then the reason could be a lot easier to sell and less. Than
Yeah.
I feel like movies today.
I agree.
So-
Like today, they would make the thing turn, and it would have to be a camera inside a secret one they don't know about in
Mhm.
Hell's.
yeah. And like also the interaction between him and Hal is very straightforward and simple.
Oh yeah,
Like two things happen. Like
Yeah.
there's the danger of getting back into the ship, but once he's in the ship, he's not at all in danger of Hal.
Yeah. I mean, but I
Like
think.
that's so against modern movies.
I think we're getting a little ahead on certain things, but I do want to say something before we move on. I saw another movie. I don't remember which movie it was, but it was about also people who were trying to hide what they were saying from a computer, and then it was a similar scene from
well,
this
Ex
movie.
Machina does that.
And then what the computer does is that it focuses on a glass of water that is inside the room that they're talking, and is analyzing the patterns that the water is moving through the audio waves, and that's how he listens to them. So it was probably people saying like, we can do the same thing. It's kind of cool.
But anyway, that's a little
Yeah.
we're a little off track.
But it's as Nick was saying, like they will find today something
oh totally.
better to
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. So let's jump into the question.
so let's go to sort of like the love-hate questions. So like, what's the favorite scene in the movie, or worst scene in the movie?
Who do you want us to go first?
What do you think is?
My favorite scene in the movie is still when the monkey.
It was going to be a monkey scene.
Yes, it's
Which one?
It's when the monkey picks the
bone?
bone, and then then I like the whole sequence of the monkey picking the bone
When he's hitting the other
hitting
bones.
the bones, and then segueing into him
So I have a
victorious.
question.
Like when he goes
question.
up and then he throws the bone up in the air.
I always laugh at that. Was a funny part. It's good. It's a great part. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes,
I'm going to throw it to both of you. So the pillar arrives.
the monolith.
The
Yeah, the monolith
arrives, and it gives him the insight to use the bone. Right?
That's what I take from it. Yeah.
I mean, that's what it seems to do.
Yeah.
So in the second part, when it's in space, does it do that to Hal?
I think
Does it
so.
do it to
Yeah. He
people?
becomes.
I mean, we're going right into that. That
let's get right into
that
it.
to me is just the meat and bone. I have
Let's
so
get-
much things to say about that, but since you guys saw it first,
Yeah,
and
let's get into
I
it.
feel that I had an advantage in the fact that I have time. I want to listen to
So what
your
do you think?
opinions. I want to go last.
Okay, you go last. I'll go first, I guess.
Mhm.
What's Nick? You got.
No. Hit it.
All right. I mean, it seems strange that it would do it to Hal, and then the Hal would lose.
Wait, and then Hal would lose. You said.
Because Hal loses the battle, right? But the monkey gets the insight to outwit the other monkey. He gets a weapon, right?
Right.
And it's the human that wins against Hal. So is it the humans that were smart enough or willing enough? Did it affect them somehow?
Are you
Because they
close?
don't seem to be affected. They don't seem like they're the ones.
Wait, are you talking? Who is affected? On
Who is affected by
The monolith.
the monolith in the second act?
in the second act? For me, I felt like it was Dave.
Because it goes off around the scientists. They're all surrounding it.
Oh, you
That's
mean
when it
on
goes
the
off,
one on
right?
the moon?
Um,
On the moon. You
On
mean
the
on the
moon.
moon?
Yeah, on the
Okay.
moon.
On the moon. Oh, see, for me, I don't think
This is how it
anything
get
happened on the moon. I think the moon is when it was just sending something to the one near Jupiter. I feel like the Jupiter one was the next step of evolution. I don't think it
Yeah.
did. I think it was just a kind of okay, guys, follow this trail kind of on the moon. I didn't get any someone changed at that point.
Well,
what do you think?
oh God.
I mean, in
Okay.
a way, you could
Yeah.
say it does, though, because even if it is just an intercom thing that leads them towards Jupiter, in a way, it is leading towards their evolution. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's well, just go there, and that's the next step.
Well, this is what I think, and I don't know. I mean, the monolith is definitely a catalyst of evolution.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that broadcasts something and affects whatever living thing is around it, whatever conscious thing, not a living thing. I think it affects consciousness, and it makes you evolve into that. So the first, the fact that was planted or not by
So
an
do you
alien
only think
race.
it does it twice?
No. This is the point. Look at this thing. I feel that the first one, let's say, for example, that it was placed by an alien race, which is kind of implied on it, but not,
Right.
but never really answered. So let's say it has a charge, like a power. It influenced the monkey first. It turned it into humans. Then it was on charge. That's why the one that is on Earth it's not affecting anything else. Then they find another one in the moon. So basically, the alien race said, "Okay, I'm going to plant the seed of evolution here, and then they're going to find a way to get to the moon. When they get to the moon, then there's the second event of evolution, and then I'm going to point them towards Jupiter, and then there will be the third event of evolution." So basically, it's evolving the monkey to man, the man towards the computer, which is Hal, and then eventually when he
Scientists are
gets over
already
there.
smart enough to follow the
But
sort
that's-
of magnetic
but that's-
signal.
that's-
Well,
the
also,
point.
Hal was invented much before the moon incident because the
No,
moon
I
incident
understand.
94, right?
Yeah,
He's from 94.
I know, but
Certainly.
think about this. Think about this. The humans.
But he malfunctions on
He
that
doesn't
mission.
malfunction. He evolves. They are carrying
So
in
you
that
do
ship.
think it affects Hal?
In that ship, they are carrying the monolith they found on the moon. That's what they're not telling them. That they're not, and then the monolith evolves Hal, and
But
Hal
they're not carrying it.
they're carrying.
They're not carrying it.
Your
Because
character.
they
Get
fight
that?
in space. He just runs into
He
it.
finds the one
He
that
follows
is
the
waiting
signal.
for them. There's one waiting for. It's basically this race telling them, "Follow us until
I
you
didn't
find
get
us."
any of that out of one.
See, for me, I mean, I didn't get a lot of stuff for Hal. I just thought Hal kind of malfunctioned at first. Like, I just thought it was some kind of breakdown thing. But
He saw his death coming. He was able
Yeah, well,
to understand
apparently-
that they were going to kill him.
well, this
So
is
he
kind of
decided
interesting.
to just do it first, and he lost.
Kubrick and Clark kind of divulged into it a little bit in an interview. And
What?
Clark, I read it because So what's interesting is how there's a book, right? They wrote the book and the script at the exact same time in tandem. The book is written half by Stanley Kubrick, and then the script is half written by Arthur C. Clarke. So the one thing that was interesting about that, Clark said that the breakdown of Hal was because the government told him to keep a secret, which was that they are on their way to the monolith.
Right.
And you remember at the end when he kills Hal, and then that video comes
The
up,
video
like,
pops up.
and it says like no one knows this, only Hal did. And Clark says that him having to be deceptive, but being programmed to be all like accessible, like he's supposed to like not that caused the malfunction apparently. So it was the task of having to lie or deceive like caused him to go crazy.
It was a counter. It was and it was an oxymoron. They gave him something that he couldn't compute.
There
So
you
he
go.
started
They gave him a
malfunction.
paradox.
They gave him a
Totally.
paradox.
That's what
So
it
then
was.
that it's interesting because that could
So he
just mean
suggested a
evolution.
differing.
They gave him a human
Solution.
trait, so he became more
Exactly.
human.
Yeah, exactly. And he broke down because of. Well, I mean, we say breakdown, but realistically, it's like you said.
just
it's
trying
more
to
like
survive.
evolving.
It's
That's-
evolving.
He's just evolving.
It's
But
evolving.
yeah, obviously, we'd say breakdown because
I feel like
Yeah.
his survival instinct.
killing humans.
He
Yeah. But I do-
because he just like kills the whole crew in one.
He kills the whole crew. He kills
He
the whole
killed
crew.
everybody. Yeah,
Fucking
Why-
crazy.
Why do you think they cryogenically froze the other three guys before the mission? Do you think
I don't know.
they were evolved already or something? Like, what do you think about that? What were they
I
trying
think
to cover?
that they were.
It might have been a
I
way
don't
to
know why they're
info.
lying to the pilots.
Oh,
because they were briefed and trained separately,
Right.
and then they were frozen just to be woken up when they got there. I think they break it down pretty simply. It's like for energy, but it's also for secrecy.
I think it's more secrecy. It's like less people up, less that stuff can.
But
And
why,
also-
why keep your fucking pilots?
No,
in
but
the dark?
also
It's so
the
weird.
three scientists knew what the mission was about. You know why?
Or so you.
I can tell you why. It's because they know what the monolith does. So they don't want to send somebody saying, "You're a guinea pig. We're going to see what the monolith does to you because we saw what it did to people." They're sending guinea pigs. They're not
Yeah.
sending them with the idea that they will return. They're just answering a call and saying, "This will come back to us." That's what the
You're
Star Child.
investigating, and
That's what at the end of the movie,
If
the
it's a
Star
one-way trip,
Child
so
is
be it.
coming back to Earth. Because you know what I think it is? I think that the first monolith. This is what I think is beautiful about this film. Because Kubrick is only showing two emotions. He's showing the fact of an emotional and a completely unemotional human being through the entire movie. And the only time that human beings react is when violence is around. So basically, the first monkey took the bone, and then by the moment that he took the bone, he was already something else. Then he comes with the other monkeys who are holding bones too, facing the monkeys that have no bones, and then they kill them. So basically, it's one species that evolved and is killing
Yeah, of course.
his
Eating
predecessor.
the other one.
He's killing his predecessor, and then on top of that, it's killing his predecessor. It's assuming control, and then it jumps to the future where like now we have Hal, which is basically the evolution of a human being. And then what happens when Hal knows that he's going towards a place where he can become more than humans? So he starts. So the natural way of evolution is I need to kill what is before me because otherwise they will get it instead of me. Hal has the need to become more. And that's why he kills the crew. That's my opinion on it. I feel that that's what Hal is doing. He's protecting himself because he knows that he's going to go.
So
to
and then
war.
when they get to Jupiter and they find the monolith in space, it's like just another.
And it
evolutionary
all starts with violence. It all starts with one thing, killing another and assuming supremacy. That is why the Star Child at the end of the movie is approaching Earth. I think it's going to do that to
You think
humans.
it's going to kill everybody?
I think it's going to kill everybody, or
Oh.
enlighten them, or share it.
I think enlighten them.
Yeah.
I think it's more like Zarathustra kind of thing. Like it's the
Probably.
Superman. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just the Superman has returned,
He doesn't
and it's the next step.
room to die,
He
Say
sees
what?
so that he can be like reborn.
he sees his entire life. He experiences all stages of
The end of
human
his
life.
Yeah,
In
a
order
moment.
to
evolves
evolve.
past that kind of
Yeah, he goes through the journey in seconds, so he's ready. So he leaves what is behind, but it's one entity killing another entity.
Did you guys have any kind of beef about like? So it's implied that there's some kind of alien race, right? Did you guys want to see them, or didn't care that you didn't see them, kind of situation?
I think
didn't
that
care.
like I think the implication of all of the abstract art you get in the third act is that whatever it is lives on a frequency that is beyond human comprehension. So you have to be something bigger and smarter to even comprehend it. That's like what happens at the end. It's like it's evolving so to a point where he can like possibly decipher what all that shit flying at him means.
Well,
like that's kind of how I took it. Is like because it's literally blowing his mind. He can't
handle it. Yeah,
he can't handle
He
it.
can't handle it. Yeah,
He can't handle the
overload.
information that's coming. It's just a representation of information overload. And I think that whatever the monolith is, it's like an entity that lives within frequency, within like a separate dimension that humans live in. So to try and communicate with that, like you have to evolve.
Yes.
So I think that's what I took from the third act and all the trippiness.
What do you think?
Aside from just like having fun with film,
with all types of fun like
with film and
stuff.
chemical process, and
It went nuts with the processing on so many things, but it looked awesome.
it looks so good. I love the wide. Scales.
What do you
Like the
think?
horizontal.
What do you think about it, Nick? Like in the same context that John just answered it.
I would say I definitely got the same feel like where it was like I felt the aliens were some kind of like other dimensional. For me, it was like kind of pure energy, kind of like you can't see them, so that's why they're not their thing. So it didn't bug me at all that we didn't see them, but then later I thought it was interesting because I was like, well, that's cool that we didn't see them. But then I was reading that he wanted to show them, but that they couldn't. Like he talked to. Do you know the writer Carl Sagan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was talking to Carl Sagan, and he was like, "I want to show the aliens in this thing." And then Carl Sagan pretty much told him, like, he gave him the advice to not show them because he was like, nothing you can imagine would be like that would make people happy because there's no way to reach expectations of like an evolved thing. He was like, just don't show it because it's something you can't even imagine.
It's beyond the singularity.
And I was like, oh, that's so good. I'm
Beyond our
glad he
ability to
didn't.
comprehend.
Because can you imagine if he did some weird effect thing and like?
Yeah, I mean, doing the like fetus was enough because it was just like this is next for.
That's next for us, right? Yeah, I thought it was cool
like,
that
we
didn't
don't
see
like. There is
them.
still something beyond. Like there's something more intelligent.
Totally.
I feel that. I mean, until you pose this question, I have never even thought about the fact of seeing the aliens. Like, it didn't even. It's not that it didn't bother me.
It didn't bother me at all.
It's just that I never even thought about the fact that it was relevant to see the aliens. You know, like this movie connects with Contact in that sense.
Yeah. Because the Contact shows it.
The message.
But Contact
doesn't.
It writes it off.
Yeah, they busted at the end.
It writes it off as this is just something.
Like the message is
an
important.
Interpretation that your brain can handle.
Correct, but it's because in Contact the message is important.
But like people hated it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So like it was a smart suggestion not to show it in 2000.
Right, I think it would have been much better because I loved that movie, and then when I saw that part, I was like, that's what the alien's gonna look like. Like it was just a little. You can't expect
if you tie it also with Interstellar, which clearly picks a lot from these. Like in Interstellar, you never see.
I think
you never see it.
You never see it because it's irrelevant. I mean, you understand. I mean, they explain a little more. This is a fifth-dimensional being, so you won't be able to even understand it if you see it. And they were
but it
constantly
definitely borrows.
It borrows so much.
Like the look of the fifth-dimensional being.
Yes.
Very in line with
and
the,
going through the wormhole in this is
There you go,
exactly that. He
Yeah,
went through a
exactly.
wormhole too. He just
That's
basically
super.
and he's placed in Jupiter,
into a black hole.
just like in
Oh, I
Interstellar.
didn't remember that.
Yeah, when
It's
he comes
placed
back,
in
it's
Jupiter.
outside Jupiter.
So
Oh, okay.
it's literally
Oh
taken
yeah, it's
from
totally a
And
nod.
the
It's like no
wormhole
more.
is at Jupiter.
these.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it's technically the same movie.
Oh.
It's not the same movie.
It's the same movie.
You know. Yeah. No, that's a different discussion.
Mm-hmm. John is not
Should
convinced.
we
The
get-
whole episode right there, yeah.
Do you guys have anything else, or should we get to final thoughts?
Get to final thought. I'm fine with
What are your final thoughts of the film?
I thought it was amazing, and it's hard to find a lot of beef with it.
What kind of score
yeah,
would you give it?
I'd give it like a 9 out of 10. Or I'd give it like a 9.5 out of 10.
9.5
I'm going to go crazy on it.
out of 10. That's really good. You really liked
Such
it.
I really
not
liked
too long, not too artsy.
Honestly, didn't feel like it.
Oh,
The
you know
only
what? We
artsy
skipped one.
things was like the first 3 minutes of like black with music. I was like, all right, come on,
Yeah.
man. Like
No,
that's-
that was crazy. I was like, I did the same thing. I was like, is something
I was like, I'm
First I
about
was
to
like, is
fast
something
forward
wrong?
this. Yeah.
And then I like just scrolled ahead to see how long it was before the logo came up. And I was like, 3.5 minutes of this.
Yeah. I was like,
And I
that
went
was-
back and watched it. And then I actually stayed through the end of the credits. And after the credits, it does the same thing. It like plays for 3
oh,
extra.
it does?
Black.
Oh my god, I didn't get there.
So he does it 3 times.
but you know why?
Why?
It's
For
because
people getting in the theater.
Yeah, getting in and out, shoveling in.
no. It's because it's an opera. It's designed to be
Yeah,
an
yeah,
opera.
yeah.
That's why
I mean,
there's
the
Oh,
music.
the interlude and the right, all that.
It's
Yeah,
designed
you
to
got
be
it.
an
music's
opera.
wonderful.
See, I just would have dug it
That's
with
for
some
now.
kind of visual accompaniment. Like that's all.
Say it again,
Yeah,
because
the
you guys
first
were
one.
overlapping.
Sorry.
Like the first one, I would have just liked it with some visual like reference or something, because it's just 3 minutes of just black and then that. In an opera, I mean, I don't know.
you-
So in
yeah.
operas, it just the curtains are closed and they're doing that for 3 minutes.
Warming up.
Yeah, they do that.
So show me a shot of curtains.
Some
Yeah.
operas do that, but I think that also
It's
he
in the
was
dark.
no. I think that he was talking about the beginning of the. He was saying that he was basically quoting the Bible. At the beginning, there was nothing, and then music started, which is basically just the wheel for something to become, and then he jumps right into
So
the
you-
bomb, 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 and then it's light. The first thing that you
Yeah.
see is light, and then every time the monolith influences somebody, you see the zenith of the sun over the monolith. So it's always an implication about birth and the becoming of things. So that's why he just shows you
give
back.
it out of it? What are your final thoughts?
I mean, that's the thing. I was trying to figure out if I shouldn't give it a 10 because I think it's an incredible piece of art, and I think we're just scratching the surface of it. So I think I have to go. I wanted to give it a lower score. I'm trying to find something bad about this movie, and besides the fact,
Yeah, you know what? I got to bring mine up to a 9.8. You convinced me.
9.8.
besides the
I'm
I
fact,
don't know. You're locked in.
look, besides
No,
the fact,
I wrote it down.
Do that to me.
look, besides the fact that it's not a movie
you're
for
giving it a 10
everybody,
out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 10. I mean, I
Yeah.
have no beef against this movie. You know,
That's a good call.
I want to give it a grade.
Oh, no. Oh man, can we average that in with numbers though? What does a grade equal?
What does a grade equal? A grade is not. I don't know. There's something about it that like it's very self-indulgent, and I feel like it tricks you into watching this like crazy art piece a little bit. I mean, I enjoyed it. It's like there's some fun things. I like the whole first act. The monkeys are great.
mhm.
There were parts of the movie where I was just like, how did they film this?
even by today's standards.
Even by today's
Yeah,
standards, I like
same.
that the
Yep.
gravity wheel stuff. Sometimes it was a little cheesy. Some of the effects would have been a lot better today. And some of them they'll hold up. You can definitely see like other movies that were influenced by it very easily. Not just like obvious ones like but like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like those ship shots.
Yes. Yeah,
Star
definitely.
Wars is like stole those straight out of 2001.
Yeah.
It
It changed the space genre, this movie. It set it up in the path that is still on.
It did, but you know what sucks is that
But, like,
not a lot
it's
of
not
people
like movies. That's
are.
the thing.
Yeah, a
Like,
lot of people didn't learn from it. I feel like because a bunch of movies will do things like what I loved about. First of all, the fact that he used real models was. I thought it looked so much better than 90% of sci-fi movies I see when you see a shot of
the
a
ship.
ship in space. Yeah,
It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, real models with nice lenses. Like,
I don't know why
But
people
good.
don't do that.
I don't know why they don't do it either.
It can't be that much more
Sci-fi, we're
expensive
just gonna
than
have to
CG.
like get models.
I don't know.
Um,
Might be
Yeah.
cheaper to do it in computer than
it
hiring
might be
somebody to do
cheaper
the
to do
model.
with models, like,
I don't know. I mean, I
Oh,
don't
gotta
know.
get a lot of toys.
Yes.
Just are-
right? You can buy like highly detailed like models and shit.
You can
They
have
just
somebody
film
build
it on
them.
black and light it. Anyway, we're getting way off topic.
Yeah.
I guess I would give it an 8.5.
Oh,
Wow, he really brought it down.
Yeah,
You know
he
what I
really-
feel? I feel this is.
Oh.
You need to revisit it because I feel that what your beef is against the director and not against the movie.
But no, it's against his directorial decisions,
Well, but
which is the movie.
see, I don't agree with that. I feel
That's fine.
I feel you
don't have to
are.
agree.
I know. I'm just saying it. You know, I'm
He's
just
trying to
saying.
get me to change my score.
I still feel it's a beef against the director and not against the movie at itself.
It's all right. Nick went up to 9.8. So
He's gonna allow you 9.8, Nick.
Yeah. Ooh, that 8.5 makes me want to go to the 10.
Let it go to 10. Whatever. I mean, it's very strange. It's
barely
just an
know.
odd movie.
Yeah, super.
And like, it's
super
not
odd.
a movie that like I'm in a hurry to watch again.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like, for me, a 10 has got to be a movie that like I would be glad to just throw on tomorrow and watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
This one, I feel like I want to wait.
See, there's
So,
two types of.
I feel
10s.
like that's where I'm giving you the 8.1.
I got
It's
you.
like
8.1.
like a 10 is like, 8.5.
Oh, like you brought it
That's
down.
not giving
Even.
you the 8.5 because like it's a good movie to talk about. I think I'm glad we picked it. It's sort of it's a classic for a reason. But,
Oh, absolutely.
so there are some movies where like I could just watch them. I could go right back in and it like still offers new layers and whatnot. This one I'm like I need a little.
What do you feel about that, Nick?
So I don't know.
For me, there's two types of 10s. There's the ones like that, like Miss Doubtfire or Clue, where I could watch that anytime, and I think that movie's perfect. But then there's some 10s like.
But I'm also measuring it against movies I've seen, and I feel like I've seen a lot of really good filmmaking. And like this is a pretty old movie, so like I don't know. I see it with a critical eye. I'm like, well, what could it be? What could you do differently?
Tell me more about those two kind of 10 movies that you were
Yeah.
saying.
Huh?
You said you have two kinds of 10s.
Yeah, what's the other one?
Yeah, the other one is like one that you could see that just like changes your whole like outlook on film or something, like a Seven Samurai or something like that, where you're like, that film I can't watch it for another like 3 years, but like I don't know, just crazy. A lot of my favorite films are like that. Either half of them are films that I'll watch every couple of years. You can't watch a lot, and then ones like you were saying, like Clue or something like that I can watch all the damn time.
You know what? I agree with you. Like that's my definition of a 10. It's regardless of the fact that I do consider this movie pretentious and it speaks about him being pretentious, I think the fact that people will watch this movie any point in recorded human history, for example, and they will have something to say. It will put you to think, even if it's only because at some point the pretentiousness of it makes you feel that everything
It will
has a
maintain
meaning
relevance,
that
right?
you need
I
to
feel
think
like
about.
it was way less pretentious though than many a movie, like for example, than a Nicholas Refn Windig movie. It was way less
Gotcha.
pretentious than like one of those, which I love half of his movies, but I mean that I think is two like totally different layers of pretentiousness. I didn't get too much, honestly. When I saw it, I was like, I think he was just a crazy dude who had OCD, and so he like just made, he was like one of those really weird dudes, and I was like,
I think he's a really insightful guy. And he
Rain Man
does
making
things
a
very-
movie.
But I feel like, OCD or whatever, he's very deliberate. And, like, he paints a beautiful picture after a beautiful picture.
Oh, totally,
Like,
yeah. I think
it does, like, really kind of linger on things. Like, it's very pleased with itself. And I do love sort of the really slow pans that they do.
Yeah.
Like even
Some of
24
them are a
frames a
little
second,
long.
it's super smooth.
I will
That's
say,
what I mean.
yeah.
Like some of them are long. You know, there's they really get self-indulgent in the third act with like all of the film negatives and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's fun though. It is good stuff. The room where he's dying, that I think that one lingers for a while.
Hal dying is the thing that'll linger for me.
Hal dying. I love
That'll
Hal
stick with me
dying.
for that. Yeah.
I
That
love
was a great
Hal
one.
dying. Like the only moment that he responds to Hal is to help him die. And he goes,
Yeah.
"Sing me the song."
Sing me the
Like
song,
he
yeah.
gives him a human kind of death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He grants it that.
So creepy that moment too when it gets
It's
slower and
so-
slower and deeper.
So
And
creepy.
that was awesome.
It is. I mean, it's great. It's a great sense. It's the only other time. It's the only time in the movie that you see what's it called when you're good with somebody. Not pity, compassion. It's the only other emotion you see in that movie. Is him having compassion for Hal.
Totally.
It's the only other moment that you see in the movie.
Stacked against the other Kubricks, are you guys like?
I've
Is it
only
up
seen
there?
a couple of them. I've seen
a
it's up
couple.
there.
I've seen a couple of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
it's definitely. It
It's up
definitely
there?
deserves the position that he has.
I think it's my favorite Kubrick for sure. I
Oh,
think it's
interesting.
Shining.
That's great.
Yeah.
I think it's the favorite one that I've seen also.
Look,
Oh, okay, cool.
I've seen Clockwork Orange and I've seen Spartacus and I've seen
I have not seen
half
Spartacus.
of Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut. Let's
I
not get
think
into.
I don't. But anyway, but let me just
So
say,
I haven't seen The Shining.
you
I've
need
seen
to
parts of
watch
it.
The
I've seen,
Shining.
like,
You seen Doctor
scenes
Strangelove?
of it. Yeah.
Season
I have
2
seen Doctor Strangelove.
episode
Strangelove is
Shining.
actually,
for
I
sure.
think Doctor Strangelove might be better. For me.
We in season 2, you got to do a Shining episode.
Yes, we do.
You have to.
We'll do. Well, I want to. Part of the reason I want to do this podcast is I'll get around to all the movies I should be watching.
Let me say
So
one last thing
Yeah,
about
one last thing?
what
Because I wanna wrap.
what we're just talking about. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. We're talking about the pretensions of the film and everything. That Kubrick's deep down intention with this movie, which probably he never talked about, is to feel that he did with this movie a service into human evolution. This movie is about evolution, and I feel that he planted so many seeds and so many intricate things that he wants people to think, because he dreams of the fact that his movie was part of human brain evolution.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he was on a mission.
Yes,
He was a man on a mission.
Exactly. I think this movie was intended to make you evolve. Like
Yeah,
that is
there was
his
a lot more than
ultimate
a
dream.
movie to him.
I like that. Next week, our film next week. I don't think we disclosed this to you yet, Nick.
It's Mannequin?
No, it's not Mannequin. It's gonna be Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, cool. Oh, man, that's awesome.
So you can find it on Netflix.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
It's on
Cool.
Netflix. Maybe you own it. Maybe you haven't seen it since you were a child and you want to watch it again. I feel like it's just a great movie, and I think it's going to hold up.
I know it.
So that'll be our movie for next week. You can also find it on like Amazon and other like buying services. So, all right, that's been our show. Tune in next week when we talk about Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
Let me see, hold on.
If you want to participate, you should follow us on Facebook, like us on Twitter.
There's shit going down outside my
if you
window.
enjoyed
Sorry.
the show, give us a good rating on iTunes. I think that that's a helpful thing to do. Just give us 6 stars or write something about the show. If you want to be kept up to date with the newest movie, just go to facebook.com/Movie Club Collective, and I'll post every week. Like every Monday, we'll post a link to the podcast. I think this will be up on YouTube, so we're doing a little bit of a test. So YouTube, iTunes Store. If you have questions or if you want to be on the show, you can just message the Facebook page, or you can hit me up on my personal Twitter at Jon in Paradox. It's JON in Paradox. Jose, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Do you want to give out any Like, find me.
Find me. I mean,
He like just won an award. Thank you.
definitely. You can. I mean, you can with me. I'm on Twitter on Jose in Paradox. You can also find me on Facebook, like through my name, or you can go to our Facebook page and they will do and message me directly, and I will answer as soon as
Chances
possible.
are you're already my friend on Facebook.
Correct.
This first episode, but maybe not. Maybe people will go back.
Yes. What about
You
Nick?
should have just said you're welcome after he said that. You should just you're welcome.
Yes.
So was he thinking?
Nick, what about you?
Thank you. That's pretty much nothing. Yeah.
Nothing.
No.
Nobody can find you.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nick.
Don't find me. I'll find you.
He's a phantom.
Yeah. Okay.
Phantom
Nick is
Nick.
unreachable. He's
I live in the rafters of the internet.
He lives in the dark places.
Yeah.
Shadows. All right, that's been our show.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Until next time. That's it.
Keep dreaming. Watching movies. Whoa.
Yeah. So now I have to find like.
Should we
And my
stop?
outro. Yeah. You can stop.
Yeah, let's just record this.
I'll stop it.
Stop
I'll
it.
cut it off there.
Oh, Nick is gonna have a real fag.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a real one.
I'm gonna stop recording.